interesting.
Yeah.
It was interesting.
Ready? Good evening, Good evening, everyone. Nope, the mic's not working.
You're on now.
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to welcome everyone to the Planning Advisory Committee for Town of Quispamsis for Tuesday, September 28th. Before we get into the agenda, just for members of the public and anyone online, we have a procedure, how that works when you come up to the podium. So each agenda item will be introduced, and the applicant will be asked to present, then they could be asked questions from PAC members. Then after that's done, I'll ask, is there anyone in the audience willing to speak for or against this item? Then you come up to the podium, and each additional member will have 10 minutes to speak, and we'll limit the number of speakers stating the same subject concerns unless there's additional information expanding on the same subject. Once that's done, the applicant can come back up and speak and address any of the questions that any of the members of the public had. So with that, we'll move on to the approval of the agenda. Can I have a motion to approve, please? Mark?
So move.
Seconder, Brent?
Second.
Is there any debate on the motion? Questions on the motion? No, we'll have a vote for that. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm yes.
Darren's yes. No, he's kicked him out.
I've got Kendall here. I'll do this vote.
Okay,
I always log in.
it's 5-0.
Yeah, can you say on the
Okay.
now?
Motion's carried by a vote of 5-0. Next item, we'll move on to disclosures of interest. None being, we'll move on to item 4, the approval of previous minutes. Can I have a motion to approve, please?
So moved.
Do you have a seconder on that?
John?
Darren motion, John second? Thank you. Any debate on any of the agenda? None being, can we have a vote for that, please?
I'm not seeing any of my names are disappearing on me. What's that? I see the number 4, but I don't see the names. John, you're yes?
By a vote of 5-0, motion carried.
It doesn't let me change my attendance.
No?
We'll just have to work around his.
We got technical difficulties. We'll wait for a minute here. Sorry for the delay. We'll move on to item 5, the business arising from previous minutes. Can I have a motion to receive and file, please? Brenda?
So moved.
Can I have a seconder on that? Brent?
Second.
Thank you. On the question, vote please.
Kendall, if you're not up yet, you can just tell me if you want to verbally. That one? Okay, we'll go through there. Okay. Now we're on.
Thank you for motion carried by a vote of 6-0. Thank you. Item 6, unfinished business. None being, we'll move on to item 7A. A setback variance of 60 centimeters for construction of a fence along the rear lot and Westmount side line at 19 Matthews Drive, PID 303-1009. Could the applicant please come up to the podium? And Jennifer, you want to introduce that item before we go any further?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Yes, this is an application received from 19 Matthews. They are looking to tie into a neighbor's fence. The fence will run closer than 60 centimeters for about 3 meters. And that's on your diagram. It's in the left-hand corner. And then also they want to extend the fence by 7 meters along the common lot line, joining into a fence that's already existing there. We have sent notification to properties within 50 meters. We received no concerns, and staff have no concerns with this. Thank you.
Thank you, Jennifer. Could you please state your name for the record? Sir?
Jacqueline Blismo.
Okay, you guys would have received the same package we did in the mail. Is there anything you'd like to add or discuss prior to members of PAC or the public asking you some questions?
No.
All right, thank you. Would any members of PAC have any questions for the applicant? None being, is there anyone on, oops, Mark, no? Is there anyone online or in the audience willing to speak for or against this item? Is there anyone online or in the audience willing to speak for or against this item? Third and final time. Is there anyone online or in the audience willing to speak for or against this item? None being, could I have a member of PAC like to put a motion for or against with terms and conditions, please? Mark?
Mr. Chairman, I'll put a motion forward to approve the variance of 0.6 meters from zoning bylaw 038, section 6S7 for the setback to the property line along the properties of civic number 17 Matthew Drive, 28 Merritt Hill, and for a chain link fence to be erected along the common property line at 19 Matthews Drive, PID number 303-1009, subject to the following condition. All property lines are clearly delineated prior to the installation of the fence. Number 2, all work is to take place on the applicant's property. And number 3, a fence permit is obtained prior to any construction.
Thank you, Mark. Can I have a seconder on that?
I'll second that motion.
Thank you, Brent. I'll read the motion, then we'll see if there's any debate on the motion. The Planning Advisory Committee approves the variance of 0.6 meters from zoning bylaw 038, section 6S7 for the setback to the property lines along the properties of Civic 17 Matthews Drive, 28 Merritt Hill, and for a chain link fence to be erected along the common property lines at 19 Matthews Drive, PID 303-1009, subject to the following conditions. 1, all property lines are clearly delineated prior to installation of the fence. 2, all work is to take place on the applicant's property. And 3, a fence permit is obtained prior to any construction. Is there any debate or any discussion on the motion? None being, can we take a vote on the motion, please? Motion carried by a vote of 6-0. So in the next 5 to 7 business days, you'll have a letter in the mail with your approval. Please work with the town to have all necessary documentation completed and signed and permits applied for. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And you guys don't have to stay if you don't want to. You're more than welcome to, but you don't have to.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we'll move on to item 7B. Applicant is seeking permission to construct a single-family dwelling with a front yard setback of 6 meters and a foundation elevation at 4 Bernard Court, PID 303-43495. Could the applicant please step up to the podium, and I'll get Jennifer to introduce the item.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The applicant is seeking a 1.5 meter variance to section 8E1A of zoning bylaw number 38, and also a variance of 1.6 for section 6F of the same bylaw. This is not precedent setting. When I did my research, it seemed that most properties near to this lot also had to undergo very similar variances. Notice was sent to property owners within 50 meters. No concerns have been received. The only concern that staff has is if they have to add soils to the area to make it buildable, that soil be of engineered soil. So just to make that a recommendation, that should take care of staff's concerns with that. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Could you please state your name for the record, please?
David Walker.
Mr. Walker, you would have received the same package we did in the mail. Is there anything you'd like to add or discuss prior to any questions from PAC or members of the public?
No, there isn't.
All right, thank you very much. Any members of PAC have any questions for the applicant? None being, is there any one in the audience or online willing to speak for or against this item? Is there anyone online or in the audience willing to speak for or against this item? Third and final time, is there anyone in the audience or online willing to speak for or against this item? None being, would a member of PAC like to put a motion for or against with terms and conditions? Mr. Bishop.
I'll put a motion forward that the PAC approve the 1.5 meter variance to section 8E1A to allow front yard setback of 6 meters and a 1.6 foundation elevation variance to section 6F1 at 4 Bernard Court, PID 303-43495 to the following conditions. 1, hold harmless agreement is executed by the property owner, absolving the town from any liability associated with the water runoff, with a registered copy to be filed with the town. 2, a site drainage plan showing how flows will be directed away from the foundation and away from the existing properties to be submitted to the town prior to the building permit issuance. And 3, if required, engineered fill must be used. And 4, a building permit is issued prior to the commencement of construction.
Can I have a seconder on that? Brenda?
I second that.
Is there any debate on the question, on the motion? None being, I'll read the motion. Before we take a vote, Planning Advisory Committee approves the 1.5 meter variance to section 8E1A to allow front yard setback of 6 meters and a 1.6 foundation elevation variance to section 6F1 at 4 Bernard Court, PID 303-43495, subject to the following conditions. Hold harmless agreement is executed by the property owner, absolving the town from any liability associated with water runoff, with a registered copy to be filed with the town. Number 2, a site drainage plan showing how flows will be directed away from the foundation and away from existing properties to be submitted to the town prior to building permit issuance. 3, if required, engineering fill must be used. And 4, a building permit be issued prior to the commencement of construction. On the question, can we have a vote, please? Okay. Motion carried by a vote of 6-0. Congratulations. Next 5 to 7 business days, you'll have a letter in the mail. Please work with the town to have all necessary documentation in place, and good luck.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. We'll move on to item 7C. Applicant requesting approval to use crushed gravel as a hard surface material to be used on the parking areas and driveway access. Could the applicant please come up to the podium? And Jennifer, can you introduce this item, please?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The applicant is requesting to use a crushed gravel on the parking area and the access driveway to Origins Natural Learning Child Care Center at 193 Pettingill. It's a large lot. It's beautiful. Dwight and I went for a visit and saw the building. It's lovely. The grounds are really nice. And they're asking if they can maintain the crushed rock as it is part of the model of the school to be as close to a natural environment as possible. However, staff has recommended that a portion of the driveway be paved in order to prevent rocks and debris from rolling into the street right of way and into our gutters. Other than that, staff have no other concerns. Thank you.
Thank you. Would you please state your name for the record? Jennifer Arsenault. Jennifer, you would have received the same package we did in the mail. Is there anything you'd like to add or discuss prior to members of PAC or the public asking you a few questions? Thank you. Is that okay with having that?
That's fine, Mr. Chair. Those are the listed items that are found in our bylaw.
Okay, thank you. Any members of PAC have any questions for the applicant? Brenda?
It might be for the town. This recommendation is that you has surface up to the crown of the hill. How long is that distance? Is if not 40 meters?
Through you, Mr. Chair. That's basically what my recommendation was based on, was at the crest of the hill. When we looked at it, we saw that there's a very steep grade that's with the driveway. It is at a 9% grade, average 9% grade, which is quite steep. And we thought that at the crest of the hill, if we stopped the pavement there, that would have probably our best success for leaving the gravel where it belongs, not in the road, and would provide, it would just, provide the best solution.
So you're sticking with the 40. Okay. I guess the other question, when you talk about chip seal as an option, that is gravel with tar, and then you do the final crusher run, right? That could be potentially washed to the street also. I think that the only thing that concerns me about that is when I walk by there all the time, and there's different places, including that, where the gravel washes out on the road. So people with bikes or something like that, it can be very dangerous, and it should not be up to the town to have to clean this up. So yes, I like the concept, of the 40 meters. And I think we have to be careful it's not something that will wash out. With the vehicles that pack it down and make it look like asphalt. I'm a concern, but I can live with this.
I just wanted to add, Mr. Chair, and to the committee members, that what was approved of by committee and by council for the rezoning was that the 100% of this be paved with asphalt. That's what was in the plans and in the development agreement. What we're asking for tonight is a 10%. It's a little less than 10% actually, for that bit of driveway to be covered in pavement.
Thank you, Jennifer. Any further questions from PAC to the applicant? Brent?
My question is, you said you went to another outdoor-based type of school as yours. Which was the school that you went to today? I'm sorry. Today, or you mentioned today, you went to another outdoor-based school, which was Foster Thurston. Okay, but they're not. No, exactly. No, I just, yeah.
But we are happy with the amendment, the consideration, for sure.
Well, I just wanted to add that we did look at the images that you'd sent and recognized where it was, and when we looked at the street view from Google, it was recognized that it wasn't a steep sloping driveway, that it actually went downwards, or appeared to go more down than up. Anyway.
Okay.
Thank you, Jennifer. Any further questions for the applicant from PAC members? None being, is there anyone in the audience or online willing to speak for or against this item? Is there anyone online or in the audience willing to speak for or against this item? Third and final time, is there anyone in the audience or online willing to speak for or against this item? None being, would a member of PAC like to put a motion for or against with terms and conditions, please? John?
Thanks, Darren. I'll put a motion forward that the Planning Advisory Committee approve a variance to Section 6P 3E2 and Section 6P 5C1 to permit crushed gravel to be used on the parking and driving surfaces found at 193 Pettingill Road, PID 303-40236, subject to the following condition. 1, the entrance abutting Pettingill Road is to be surfaced in asphalt no less than 8 meters wide and by 40 meters long in length to the crest of the hill to assist in the prevention of rocks and pebbles entering the street right of way. 2, a revised site plan identifying the areas that will be surfaced in crushed gravel and the areas that will be surfaced with asphalt be submitted prior to the release of final bonding. 3, an amendment be made to the development agreement to reflect the use of crushed gravel as a surfacing material approved for use in the parking and driveway areas. And 4, dust control measures to be implemented upon receipt of any legitimate dust-related complaint to the town.
Thank you, John. Can I have a seconder on that? Kendall?
I'll second that.
Okay. Is there any debate on the motion? Yep, go ahead.
How many questions online too? Instead of saying surface with asphalt, should it say surface with hard surface material.
As per what
As per what
Jennifer
told us.
said?
Yes.
John, you okay with that? Yeah. Kendall? Okay, thank you. You get that, Violet?
No, hard surface?
I think the wording is concrete, asphalt, chip seal.
Do you want them, what's in our bylaw, you want those, what's,
Which is what Jennifer had wanted in that application, correct, in the beginning?
Yes.
Thank you. Any other further debate on the motion? None being, I'll read the part of the motion. Planning Advisory Committee approve a variance to section 6P3E2 and section 6P5CI to permit crushed gravel to be used on the parking and driving surfaces found at 193 Pettingill Road, PID 3034026. Can we have, on the question, can we have a vote, please? Motion carried by a vote of 6-0. Congratulations. In 5 to 7 business days, you have our letter in the mail. So please work with the town to have all necessary documentation and permits and update your documentation.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you, Violet.
Thanks.
have a good evening. You too?
With that being, we'll move on to item 8. Can I have a motion to receive and file items and discussion items, please? Brenda?
So moved.
Can I have a seconder on that? Mark?
Second.
Can we have a vote on that, please? I don't know if we have to vote, but we will. I don't think we have to.
No, actually,
We're not gonna vote. We don't have to.
change that.
Yeah. We have to cancel, you said voting's already there, so.
Yeah, you may as well vote because it's open, I have to change e-scribe.
Yeah. We all up there?
Like flies over here.
Motion carried by vote of 6-0. Item 9, adjournment. Can I have a motion to adjourn? Mr. Bishop,
So moved.
seconder on that?
John, second.
Seconder. Thank you. Motion carried, meeting's adjourned. Thank you very much, everyone.